Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Tired Old Man. I hope you've been enjoying the updates that we've been doing on our homestead. And as you know, I've been working pretty hard trying to get our homestead house ready. And because I don't live there, so I'm traveling back and forth. And it's been carrying the Tired Old Man a little hard. So I haven't been able to tend to my garden down here at the beach like I would have loved to. And I'm going to show you in a minute. The garden is pretty much over for the summer. I haven't done any updates because really it didn't do as well as I was hoping it would do, and a lot of that reason is because of part of it was me not being able to tend to it, because I can't be in two places at one time. I can't be at the homestead house and tending to the garden down here. So I've been spending about half of my time at the homestead house and half of the time here. So when I'm not here, my wife's not able to water the garden and tend to it. So the garden is just not done as well as we hoped it would do. But really it hasn't done well in the last 3 or 4 years. Part of it is the weather. We had extremely dry weather and extremely hot weather here at the beach. It's been, the sun has just been cooking. And I think that's been a lot of it. Of course, I was not watering it like I should, because like I said, I can't be in two places at one time. But I don't want to, how do I put that? I don't want to give excuses for the reason the garden didn't do well. It just didn't do well. And there's a lot of reason for it. And when it did rain down here, just like last night, we hadn't had any rain down here for a week or so, and then all of a sudden last night we get downpours, and our tomatoes, what they would do is they wouldn't grow, and then we get a lot of rain, and then they'd swell up and bust, and then we'd have to throw a lot of them away. And same thing with our cucumbers, they would not grow, and then all of a sudden we get a lot of rain, and then they'd swell all up. But that's one of the reasons that we're getting our homestead house ready. We want to have a big garden, and so next year we plan on having a big garden at the homestead. Now, if we'll have a garden down here, it would just be a little bit, and we won't even do as much as we've been doing, because like I said, you can't be in two places at one time. But I'm going to do just a quick overview of the garden and let you look at it. And then I'll do a quick walk around of the yard and let you see the yard again. The yard is really not doing well either. I've fertilized it 3 times, I think, already this summer. But the water, we're just not getting the water. But it doesn't look as bad as it has in some years, but it's just not as good as I would like it to look. But anyways, here we go. Let's take a look at the garden. We'll start out with our cucumbers. Hope I don't carry you too fast. Our cucumbers, that little green there is some weeds that's come up in the hole where the cucumbers were. The cucumbers are long gone. We thought about planting some fall cucumbers, but same thing, we're still working on the house, and I was not going to be able to be here, so I just decided not to do it. What happens here at the beach with the tomatoes, like I said, we don't get any rain, and then all of a sudden it rains a lot, and they swell up and bust. But also you have to pick the tomatoes here when they're green, because if you leave them on the plant, on the vine, until they turn red, the birds eat them up. The birds just love a tomato down here for some reason. Don't know if it's because we're on an island, but they'll get on top of them and just peck them and just ruin them. We moved our tomatoes in a different place this summer, and usually we have them here where the cucumbers are. But this year we moved them where we usually have our okra. And I think they would have done better if we'd have put them back even where they were last year. And it might be because of the shade, they get a little shade from those trees, but they just didn't do as well as we would hope. Yeah, we got a lot of tomato sandwiches and we got a lot of tomatoes, but as you can see, they're pretty much over. I think we got 1 or 2 tomatoes left. But you can see, even this one, I don't know how well you can see it. See, it's cracked open from the rain. And that's what happens. They just grow and crack. And even some of the ones that did grow, you see how small they are. That's a comparison. See my hand? And it's, I mean, they're a little bitty. They're supposed to be full-size tomatoes, but they didn't. The okra, this is the first year that we've had the okra in this bed, and the okra did not do well at all. Usually when we have them over where the tomatoes are, they do well right way on up into the fall. This year, as you can see, they just dried up. The plant is just dying from the top because of lack of water. They just did not do well at all. Our bell peppers, the plants are still green and they're still growing okay, but as you can see, plants have really got to be thriving and growing well for them to produce fruit. And this is fruit. It's what you're getting, is you're eating the fruit of the plant. But the fruit, the plant supplies all its nutrients to grow the plant. And then at the end of the season is when it produces its fruit so it can reseed itself. That's just what nature does. But if you have a really good garden and stuff, it'll produce through the summer. Some plants will. They just didn't do well. Now, on to our hot peppers. I don't know how well you can see, but we've already got several crops of hot peppers off, and they just seem, now they are red peppers. We're leaving them on until they turn red on the vine, on the plant. But as you can see, we're getting a lot of peppers. The peppers seem to be thriving. The hot peppers do. But on to yeah, our squash. As you can see, the squash just did not do well at all. I think we got maybe 5 or so squash off of them. We didn't. Squash just they don't seem to do well down here. The plant does good, but it's the same thing we talked about earlier in another video. We don't have bees down here, hardly any bees or anything to pollinate them. And I don't have time to self-pollinate. I'm just too busy to do that right now. With as much as Tired Old Man has going on. So my wife didn't get much of on her okra this year. But as you can see, I'll do a quick just scan over. You can see our garden is pretty much over with. We're not going to get anything other than those hot peppers off of the garden. But now let's take a quick walk around of the yard. We'll try to show you. I've had some people ask me in the past about striping my yard. They would love to know how I did that, and I might even do a video on that. Comment in the comments if you'd love to see a video on how I do that. And it doesn't look good right now because the grass is really not growing. You see our flowers here and you say, man, those flowers look great. Those are not the flowers that we're planting. The flowers that we planted, and I'll carry you over here, there is some right back there in the back. They didn't do well at all. And you come over here and see the flowers are in the middle here, and that's lantana that's in the middle. They just did not do well. We say, well, where all these flowers come from? These flowers are volunteers that come back up this year from last year. I did not plant these. They just come back up, and I just decided, being the other flowers was not doing good, I decided to just let them grow. So that's what I did. I just let the flowers grow. And we got some up here in this bed up here a little bit, as you can see. But the other flowers, I'll walk up here and show you. These flowers just did not, I mean, there's some there, but they're nothing like what that looks like. They just did not turn out well. And same thing here. We planted flowers here, and they just did not do well at all. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been working. Tired Old Man. Seems like he's always working, but that's what I've been doing this morning, and decided to do a quick video. When you see this video today, it was filmed. I'm going to put this video out today. So when you see this video, it was filmed today. Some of my other videos are behind, and the reason that they're behind is because I want to show them in sequence as they happen to the homestead house. And I don't know where you can see how, you probably can't see it on camera where I've striped the yard, but like I said, it's just not doing well because you can see how all the brown patches in it. Here's the bed that we talked about earlier that I filmed right here, and you can still see all the briars and stuff that are growing in it and vines that are coming up. This is the reason that we didn't plant any plants this year. I have kept this sprayed and try to kill these briars and stuff, but other than sterilizing the ground, which I'm not going to do, there's so much root in the ground, you got to let this stuff grow up a little bit so you can get enough chemical on it to kill it. You can cut it back with a weed eater and do that all you want, but it's just not gonna do what you want it to do. And that will do away with it so you can plant some plants in it. But anyway, there's a quick look at that bed. And that little patch of grass there does the best because, as you can see, it stays in the shade part of the day. But okay, let's go on. You can see where we had some rain last night. And we'll go on and walk over and show you back by the pool, about like I did last time. It looks about the same. The pine straws faded some, and the flowers are not doing as well as they were when we first planted them, but it still looks about the same that it did. The lantana, as you can see, is still growing, thriving, but it's not producing any flowers. Our palm tree is not doing what like I wish it would do. You see these flowers, they're not doing well at all either. They're still green, but they're just not thriving and producing any flowers. And as you can see, we're back to the garden. Walk over here, and we've been all the way around the house. Now you can see we're back to the garden. And there's some lantana. It did really well last year and had, I bet it had 1 million flowers on it. You see this year it's just got very few flowers on it. Big plant. That's just one lantana. And you see the plant itself is really big, but there's no flowers on it. Okay, that's a quick walk around and a quick little garden tour. I'm gonna go edit this and release it to the public, so when you see this, you know I filmed it. And land that I love, America, you were right about that. I love my country. Do I love everything that happens? No. But I do love being able to live in the freest country in the world. Thank y'all for watching. See you in the next video.